If you are new to the channel, then subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for further notification. Okay student, welcome you all to this new lecture in gate measurement series. So today again we will be solving 5 questions starting from question number 116 up to question number 120. Okay, then let's try to solve these questions. So in question number 116, the slope and the level detector circuit of a CRO has a delay of 100 nanosecond and the startup sweep generator has a response time of 50 nanosecond. In order to display correctly the delay time, so you know your X channel and Y channel, that should be synchronized. In order to, this is your Y channel is connected here, this is your X channel, and this is the output that we got. We have seen this type of waveform. Okay, so this is the sweep. So you can see this CRO, what it is, this slope and level detector. So it takes a time to detect it 100 nanosecond. So if you give it a supply 100, after 100 nanosecond, it will take some time to sense it. And similarly, your startup sweep generator has a response type. So this sweep generator, what you are starting for giving sweep signal, that also take 50 nanosecond. So ultimately it will come here after 150 nanosecond. So you need to have Y also synchronized in such a manner, it should also come after 150 nanosecond. So that means 150 nanosecond delay you have to insert in the Y channel, because this is coming, this delay is coming in the X channel. So same delay should come in the Y channel also, so that it can detect both simultaneously. So that's why it is option A. Now if you come to 117, a 10.5 digit timer counter possesses a base clock of frequency 100 MHz. When measuring a particular input, the reading obtained is the same in frequency mode operation with a gating time this much 1 second and a period mode of operation in 10 nanosecond scale. The frequency of the unknown input in Hertz is equal to, okay. So there are two mode of operation. If you see one mode of operation, that is the first one is frequency mode of operation. So here you can see the system is something like that. This is the gate and you are giving your unknown frequency here, unknown frequency, suppose fx, and here is the gate controlled pulse, that pulse of 1 second, gating time of 1 second, gate time here, whatever you can say, this is of 1 second window. So these are giving, and you are feeding unknown frequency here, and then finally it gets counted in the counter, and the counter has 10.5 display. 10.5 display, you know, 10 full digit, 1 half digit is either 0 or 1. Okay, so how much this counter can count in 1 second, means in 1 second time how much cycle is going through that counter will count. So if it is a fx, so your n will be here, so this counter will measure n, which is equal to 1 second into, suppose it is 10 Hz, that means you are sending 10 cycle per second. So if you are measuring for 1 second, so it will sense 10 cycles, so output will be 10. If you are measuring it for 2 seconds, so how many, if it is a 10 Hz, then it will be 10 into 220. So this is the formula. This is equal to same as in case of your period mode. So what is this drawing in case of period mode? Again, in case of period mode, this gate, this frequency, now you know how you can know this frequency, because they have given it is running under 10 nanosecond scale in the period mode. So this is of 10 nanosecond, this frequency, which is 100 megahertz. Now this time you don't know, for how much time you are operating, that you don't know, tx, suppose this is gate time. So again here again counter, here again 10.5 display, here it is again counter. So again here n will be equal to this time into how much frequency you are sending, 100 into 10 to the power 6. Both these readings are equal. So they are saying that both the readings are same. This is given. The readings obtained in same in 1 and 2. So whatever counter is counting here, same counter is counting here also. So it is, that means this is equal to this. So 1 second multiplied by fx is equal to tx multiplied by 100 megahertz. So from here you can say your tx is equal to 1 second. By symmetry you can see, and your fx should be equal to 100 megahertz. So that means it is, in case of hertz they are asking, so it is 10 to the power 8 hertz. But this 10 to the power 8 will not be the answer. They are asking the display, the reading obtained in the sync. So what is the reading you will get in 10.5, because it is 10.5, so 10 to the power 8 should come. 10 to the power 8 means it should be 8 zeros, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Now because it is 10 and half, so how it should be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So it should be of this fashion, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and this is the half digit. It should be either 0 or 1. So this will be your display. So answer will be this one, because it is fill in the blank, so you write this one, not 10 to the power 8. So you have to write it in this way, in the display format. What will be the display? Now if you come to 118, it coming to instrument transformer now. So instrument transformer, that is CTPT, are known to have magnitude and phase errors. These are primarily due to. So before going to this, I have discussed this one in CTPT CVT lecture. I will give a link, you can go through that, where I have discussed a little bit about this error, not so in depth. You complete the video, and in some portion you will find I was discussing about this. So this is basically due to the magnetic component that comes in the no load current in the transformer, you can say. Due to magnetic saturation, there is a much error, and there is also magnetic flux leakage are there. So due to that, so let's read this. What are the options? Improper connection, no. Measurement error inherent in the meter connected, no. That is not due to the measurement error of that is already there, but this ratio and phase error do not due to that. Open and short circuit parameter of the instrument transformer, no. None of this. So it is none of this. It is due to the only magnetic leakage and magnetic saturation. Due to that property, these errors come. So you can check that video. So that will, so 118 is D. So that video is also helpful for your 119, because there I have discussed CVT also. So you check why CVT, it is the output remains constant. It is due to the resonance tapped winding, that is the inductor is connected so that the circuit resonant. I have explained that in detail how this output voltage remain constant, because we want to operate it in a resonance so that net Thevenin's impedance becomes 0. So no internal drops comes out. So therefore voltage remain constant. So you kindly check that video. So 119 is again D, that is tapped winding or the inductor. A 500 by 5 ampere 50 hertz current transformer has a bar primary. The secondary burden is a pure resistance of 1 ohm. Secondary burden means this is, suppose this is primary, this is my secondary. So secondary one resistance is connected 1 ohm. That is the burden, what is connected in the secondary. It draws a current of 5 ampere. It is drawing a current of 5 ampere. The magnetic core requires 250 ampere turns. So magnetic core, this current, the magnetic, how it is magnetized, taking current from primary. So that's why there are errors, because it is taking some current to get it magnetized, and after that whatever current that gets reflected in 5 ampere. So 250/80 for magnetization, the percentage error. So because it is resistive load, see your I2 will be properly resistive, but this is magnetization component, that will be 90 degree lagging, that one. I think you know that transformer drawing, this was of phi. So this is your I1, that suppose the magnetization portion, that is IM you can say, and this is your V2. So this is your I2 actually, this is your V2, this is your V1, you know this magnetic phasor diagram. So this is V2, so it's I2 will be here. So reflection of I2 will come in the input side I1 dash. So summation of these two will be the I1, that is the primary current. In case of a normal transformer, it was I0, you can recall this was I2, this type of, this was I1 dash, this was I1, this was the magnetization component, which is two part, IM I0, you know all these things. So that phasor diagram is here. So this IM is coming from this. So IM is how much it is required, 250 ampere turns. How many turns are there? Because it is a single wire, so the number of turns in the primary is 1 always. So it is 1. So primary ampere turn is equal to 250 ampere 80. So primary turn is 1. Primary current is, suppose, I don't know, that is the magnetization current, 250. So that means your IM is equal to 250 ampere. So this is your IM, and what is your I1 dash, that is reflected here I2. This portion is, suppose it is whatever current you give primary, some portion will be given to for magnetization, and whatever left, that will be reflected in the secondary. That is idea. That's why the error comes. The total whatever input, that doesn't reflected in the out, whatever in primary side, that properly not reflected in the secondary, because some portion has gone to this. So now I am calculating I2, which is I1 dash. So I2 is given 5 ampere. So corresponding I1 dash will be how much, because the ratio is 500 is to 5. So if this is 5 ampere, then the primary will be 500 ampere. So what is your primary current? It is under root 500 square plus 250 square, because you can see it is right angle triangle, it is height, it is base. So if you do, it is 559.017 ampere. So what should be your actual ratio? What they are asking, the magnetic core for the percentage error, that is percentage ratio error actually. This should be percentage ratio error. Kindly modify it. So what is the actual ratio? It should be this divided by 5. That is the actual ratio, not 500 by 500 by 5 means if you give 500, it is 5. But here if you give 559, then only you are getting 5, because 59 is somehow you can think that is going for magnetization, because it is in vector, so it is 250, it is going. So you can think of in that way. So actual ratio will be 559.017 divided by 5, which is equal to 111.803. So what is your ratio error? So you are measuring this 100, actual is 111.803, this is actual, sorry. So error is always what you are measuring minus actual divided by actual. So this is you are measuring 100, you are considering 100, but actual is 111.830 divided by this one. If you do this one, it is minus 10.56%. That is your option B. If you like the video, then press the like button and please give your valuable comments in the comment section.